There's a feeling that can sometimes creep in as we get a little older, especially when we find ourselves on our own. Maybe the house is quieter than it used to be, or your weekly calendar has a few more open spaces. And in those quiet moments, a thought might whisper, is this it? Is this where I start to become lonely? Well, I want to talk to you today about that very thought. But I want to flip it completely on its head. What if this chapter of your life, this time of being single, isn't an ending, but one of the most beautiful and liberating beginnings you've ever experienced? What if the peace and quiet you're feeling isn't loneliness, but the sound of your own freedom, finally having the space to breathe? For decades, our lives have been so beautifully, wonderfully, and sometimes exhaustingly intertwined with others. We built careers, raised families, cared for partners and parents. Our time, our energy, our very identities were often shaped by the needs and wants of those we loved. And there's a deep, profound beauty in that. But now the landscape has changed. And I want to suggest that being single after 70 is not about something being missing. It's about something being found. You. So, let's settle in and have a chat about why this time can be so surprisingly wonderful. Let's talk about the unique joys and profound peace that can come with embracing life on your own terms. And the first place I'd like to start is with something we all crave, but so rarely grant ourselves without a hint of guilt: complete and utter peace. When you live with someone, your peace is often a shared, negotiated thing. The television volume, the temperature of the room, what to have for dinner, the timing of your day, it's all a dance of compromise. And compromise is the glue of any good relationship. But when you're single, that constant, low-level negotiation just vanishes. The silence in your home isn't empty, it's full. It's full of your own thoughts, your own rhythms. You can wake up and the first decision of the day is entirely your own. Do I feel like listening to classical music or complete silence with my coffee? The world doesn't intrude unless you invite it in. This peace is more than just a luxury, it's a nutrient for the soul. After years of noise and demands, your nervous system finally gets a chance to truly rest. There's no one to rush for, no one scheduled to sync with but your own. That feeling of being able to just sit and watch the birds in the garden for an hour, without explanation or apology, is a form of deep self-care that many of us have never known. It's in this quiet that we can finally hear ourselves think, we can reconnect with long-forgotten dreams, or simply just be. We can appreciate the small, beautiful details of our own lives without distraction. This isn't isolation, it's curation. You are curating a space, both physically and mentally, that is designed for your comfort and your contentment alone. And this profound peace naturally leads us to the second beautiful aspect of this single life, the sheer, unadulterated freedom to rediscover who you are, on your own terms. For so long, many of our choices were made as part of a we. We like this kind of vacation. We have friends from that group. We eat at this time. But who is the I? When you're single, you have the incredible opportunity to answer that question with boldness and curiosity. This is your chance to rediscover your own preferences without the filter of someone else's opinion. Do you actually enjoy big, noisy parties, or do you truly prefer a deep, one-on-one conversation with a good friend? Maybe you've always wanted to try watercolor painting, but thought it was a silly hobby. Now, you can try it without a second thought. You can eat dinner at 5 p.m. or 9 p.m. You can spend a whole Saturday reading a novel cover to cover, or decide on a whim to take a bus to a town you've never visited. This freedom extends to your social world, too. Your friendships become chosen, deliberate, and deeply nourishing. You're not spending time with someone out of couple obligation, you're connecting with people who light you up, who share your interests, who make you laugh. You can build a social circle that reflects the person you are now, not the person you were 30 years ago. It's like being given a blank canvas and a full set of paints. At first, it might feel a little intimidating. What should I paint? But then you realize there are no rules. You can paint anything you want. You can reinvent yourself, or simply uncover the person you always were, before life added all its layers of responsibility to others. This freedom is a gift that allows you to fall in love with your own company and to build a life that is a genuine reflection of your spirit. And once you start to taste that freedom and bask in that peace, it opens the door to other, equally powerful reasons why this time can be so rich and rewarding. It allows you to focus your energy in new and profound ways, and to look at your connections with family and friends in a completely new light. But let's save that for our next conversation, shall we? It's a lovely thing, isn't it? To start feeling that sense of peace settle in, and to feel those first sparks of curiosity about what you truly enjoy. It's like meeting an old friend you haven't seen in years, and that old friend is you. But this journey of discovery doesn't stop at trying new hobbies or enjoying the quiet. As you get more comfortable in this new space, you begin to notice something else, a shift in your energy, and a beautiful clarity about what truly matters to you. You see, for most of our lives, our emotional energy has been a shared resource. We've worried about our children, supported our partners through their career struggles, soothed their heartaches, and celebrated their triumphs. We've poured our hearts into our families. And that is a beautiful, noble thing. But it's also draining. It takes a tremendous amount of emotional fuel to be the steady rock for everyone else. When you're single, that constant drain on your emotional energy, it just stops. The emotional thermostat in your life is set by you, and you alone. There's no secondary weather system coming in from another person, bringing unexpected storms or chilly fronts that you have to navigate. You are no longer carrying the weight of someone else's bad day, their anxieties, or their unresolved moods. This is a profound liberation. Think about the mental space that used to be occupied by worrying about your partner's health or fretting over a disagreement you had. That space is now free. And what can you do with that freed up energy? You can pour it back into yourself. You can use it to finally deal with your own unresolved matters, to nurture a long-neglected sense of inner peace, or to simply rest deeply without a low hum of anxiety in the background. Your emotional world becomes your own garden to tend. You can pull the weeds of old regrets, plant new seeds of contentment, and simply sit in the sun of your own calm. This isn't selfishness, it's sanity. It's finally giving to yourself the same attentive care you've so generously given to others your entire life. And as that emotional clutter clears away, something remarkable happens. You gain a crystal clear perspective on the relationships you do have. This is the fourth beautiful gift of this chapter, the ability to cherish your connections with family and friends on a whole new level. When you were part of a couple, your social life was often a joint operation. You saw other couples, you attended events as a pair. Sometimes, if we're honest, we maintained friendships out of habit or obligation, not because they truly filled our cup. But now, every connection is intentional. Every visit with a child, every coffee with a friend, every phone call with a grandchild, it's chosen. It's pure. Because you are not pouring your energy into the daily maintenance of a primary partnership, you have more genuine, high-quality attention to give to the people you love. When your son calls to tell you about his day, you can truly listen. Your mind isn't half on a disagreement you just had with your spouse. When you meet your granddaughter for lunch, you are fully present, delighting in her company, not mentally running through a list of errands for two. Your relationships become less about duty and more about authentic, joyful connection. You also get to decide the terms. You can be the wonderful, doting grandparent who has the kids for a wonderfully fun, chaotic weekend, and then happily return them to their parents, retreating back to your peaceful, tidy home to recharge. You get all the joy, and then you get the peace. It's the best of both worlds. Your friendships, too, become deeper. You seek out people who inspire you, who make you laugh, who support the person you are becoming. There's no need to keep up with people who drain you. You can gracefully let those connections fade, making room for ones that truly matter. It's a shift from managing relationships to savoring them. And this richer, more intentional way of connecting makes every conversation, every visit, feel more meaningful and more precious than ever before. And as we build this life filled with intentional peace and purposeful connections, we naturally start to turn our attention inward, to the very core of who we are. This leads us to some of the most profound reasons of all for embracing this single life, reasons that touch on the very essence of our spirit and our legacy. But that is a conversation for another moment. It's quite something, isn't it, to realize that the quieter life can often be the richer one? To feel your energy settle into a calm pool, and to see your relationships with family and friends shine with a new, more authentic light. It feels like you've been given a special kind of lens to see the world more clearly. And with that clarity, you start to notice the deeper, more spiritual gifts that this time of life can offer. One of the most unexpected of these gifts is the freedom to really, truly, be yourself. Completely and unapologetically. Think about it. For decades, we've worn so many hats: the responsible employee, the caring parent, the compromising partner. We've smoothed our rough edges to fit better with others, we've tucked away certain quirks, or softened our opinions to keep the peace. There was always someone else to consider. But now, the performance is over. The curtain is closed, and you are finally, blessedly, just you. You can be as eccentric as you like. Maybe you want to have cake for breakfast once in a while. Maybe you want to spend a whole day in your most comfortable, worn-out clothes, reading detective novels. Perhaps you have a quirky collection or a passionate interest that no one else ever quite understood. Now, you can indulge it fully, without a single raised eyebrow or a feeling that you need to explain yourself. There is no one to perform for, no image to uphold. This is the ultimate comfort in your own skin. It's the feeling of coming home to yourself after a very long journey. And that sense of self-acceptance, of finally giving yourself unconditional permission to be exactly who you are, is a profound source of happiness. And from that place of deep self-acceptance, another beautiful realization dawns. You begin to understand the incredible power of your own independence. This isn't just about managing a household on your own, it's about knowing, in your bones, that you are fully capable. There's a unique strength that comes from handling your own affairs, from navigating the technology, to managing your finances, to making a big decision about your home, all on your own. Every problem you solve by yourself, every bill you pay, every new little skill you learn, it's like depositing a coin into a piggy bank of self-confidence. That bank starts to fill up, and with it, a quiet, unshakable assurance grows. You realize you are not just getting by, you are thriving. You are the captain of your own ship, and you are perfectly capable of steering it through calm and rough waters alike. This isn't a lonely feeling, it's an empowering one. It silences that inner voice of doubt that maybe, just maybe, you couldn't manage without someone else. You know you can. And that knowledge is more valuable than almost anything. Which brings us to the final, and perhaps most beautiful, reason of all. When you have this peace, this freedom, this self-knowledge, and this deep-seated confidence, you arrive at a state of gratitude and contentment that is unlike anything you've experienced before. This isn't about comparing your life to anyone else's, the married ones, the single ones, the ones who seem to have it all. This is about looking at your own life, your own journey, with a heart full of thanks. You appreciate the simple, perfect moments, the warmth of the sun on your face, the taste of a perfectly ripe piece of fruit, the comfort of your own bed, the silence of a morning. Your happiness is no longer tied to another person's actions or moods. It is an internal state, a gentle hum of contentment that comes from within. You've made it. You've navigated the tumultuous seas of life, with all its joys and sorrows, and you have arrived at a peaceful shore. This chapter is your reward. It's a time to look back on your journey with compassion for all you've been through, and to look forward to whatever time remains with a sense of curiosity and peace, not fear. Being single allows you to hold this contentment, undisturbed. It is the ultimate luxury of a long life well lived. So, you see, this isn't a story about being alone. It's a story about coming home. It's about gathering all the pieces of yourself that you've given away over the years and finally, lovingly, putting them back together into a whole, complete, and wonderfully contented person. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What has your experience been like? What new freedom or moment of peace have you discovered in this chapter of your life? Please share your story in the comments below. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. If this conversation resonated with you, please give this video a like, and if you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel for more chats like this, designed just for us. Remember, your life, right now, is brimming with potential for joy, peace, and profound contentment. Here's to embracing your beautiful, singular journey.